Thanks for being back here with Danny's Dehydration Station. You're probably looking at this plate wondering, what the heck is that? Well, it was a moo bone. I made some moo bones and we didn't eat them all. And there was one left. You know how it is? You have that one annoying little thing left, maybe one pork chop or one hamburger patty or one moo bone in this case. You don't want to throw it out. Nobody's going to eat it. You haven't really figured out how you're going to incorporate it into another meal. Maybe it's not the time to incorporate it into something else. So if you don't do something with it, like either throw it into the freezer so it can freezer burn, because that's always fun, or you can dehydrate it. So that's what we've done. Any cooked meat, by the way, there is in general a way to dehydrate it. Now, I'm not going to guarantee that that's all meats, because when we talk about seafood and things like that, that could be a different thing. I'm not versed on that yet, so I'm not going to go there. But this I know, with any beef or pork or chicken, providing it's, the things that, walk on the ground, providing that it's cooked, you're good to go. So in my previous video, I'm doing bacon and it's actually still running. It's just I'm going through the fridge looking for what else can I save, and here's what I found. So I've already taken the honors of deboning the moo bone and cutting it into little pieces, because really you're not going to get big pieces off a moo bone unless you're chewing on it anyway. So one of the nice things that comes with these dehydrators is these aerated mats. They're like a fruit roll-up, but they're not. As you can see, there's many holes in it. They're perfect for the smaller pieces like this, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to scatter this out on this piece best I can. Spread it as well as I can. The less touching of pieces you have, the better for aeration and even drying, even though the pieces may be different sizes. Not something to be worried about, because really you're going to go for the all over completely dry thing anyways. And then I'm going to vacuum pack this so I can put it in soups, because I've already got a nice mix of dehydrated vegetables and other vegetables that are dehydrated, singularly as well. So just to have this as a singular option that may very well turn out, to blend in beautifully with another one or two or more items that you've dehydrated as a dish. I mean, there's so many combinations of soups and stews and things you can do. So it's just nice to be able to save that. And if you've been grocery shopping lately, you may have noticed that every time you walk into the store, everything has already gone up from the last visit you had. So that's another reason I'm really into dehydrating. Nothing is cheap. We pay to live on this planet. It's expensive, especially the food part. As you may have noticed, I'm probably singing to the choir here. Apologize for that. But that's why I'm doing this. So this is a beautiful barbecue moo bone that we're going to throw that on another shelf, because we already have the bacon going. So why not make the machine work to the full capacity? Okay, so the machine is already set at 160. I'm going to leave it at 160. I'm just going to throw that on top, and we'll check on that later on. All right, thanks for being here. So I've let those little bits of moo bone go all night, and I've shut off the machine, and just going to kind of show you. They're very dry, crispy. I like that. A little bit of grease there that's, on the mat. You can probably see those yellowy sort of colors. So what I'm going to do with those grease stains is I'm going to take my famous shop towels. I know. No, I'm not endorsed by the company, by the way, in case you're wondering. It's just, I find they're just the best thing all the way around. And they're very affordable, actually. Very durable. Plus, like many of the paper towels, I'm sure, you can wash and reuse them. So anyway, getting back to the main thing being the main thing, we're going to just kind of sneak these all down the middle. Going to get it to try and fall into the center onto the paper towel. And I want to blot off what's left of the grease there, because that you don't want to be packaging up, because you're just looking for trouble with that. So we're going to have to wash the mat again. That's not a problem. And in the meantime, sorry, before I cover that up, you can see how that's glistening. Lots of grease on that. That we don't want. So I want to roll this, cover it. I'm going to move it around, manipulate it, and I'm going to try to pull off as much of the grease from this as I can. So while that's kind of sitting in there, I'm going to let that sit for a bit while I go and wash this, because I am going to put it back on the machine even though it's crispy dry. It's just I want to get rid of the last bit of the grease there. So if that's on there, we know it's on here. So we'll give it one final touch, because again, the drier the better when it comes to this. That way it lasts longer. All right, so let me go wash this and I'll be right back. And that was quick. Of course, you have a pause button, right? All right, so when you're washing these things, I want to kind of encourage you to use a good natural soap, if you will, because the chemical ones, and I know they're cheaper, but they have ingredients in them that they're going to break down and brittleize the nice flexibility of your mat over time. And, well, the other thing, too, is we really don't know how much that transfers onto food, do we? So I am of that firm belief, better safe than sorry. And the interesting thing with detergents and cleaners and dish soaps and things like that, you might have noticed they don't even tell you what the ingredients are. So that's always scared me. So, okay, before I spread this out on here, I'm just going to put down 3 racks. I actually need a 4th, I know. Oh, the 4th is actually already there under the lid, which is out of sight. So this I had here to make sure that that was clean, and we didn't need that. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to put them back on that nice freshly cleaned mat. Little crummies, and it's very easy for these to fall off your paper towel, so just kind of want to gently let it roll off. Not a big deal. Take off the crumbs. There you go. And then we're just going to saunter that around. Yeah, I did drop that a little too close to the edge. That happens. No worries. It's not going to go too far as long as I let it be. So now we've got these nice, beautiful little dried tidbits here. Again, very, well, that one is still, yeah, that one's got a bit of fat in it. So never hurts to give it a good dabble once you see that grease on any meats that you happen to be doing. In this case, we're working on some leftover moo bone. Spread it out as best you can once you've dampened it all down, and you're going to put it back on the machine at 160 until it's good and dry. All right, and I think this is going to do the magic to it that we're looking for. Then we're going to be able to safely put it in a jar with a packet of desiccant, or if you want, you can vacuum pack it too. But just make sure, because some of these pieces are very sharp and pointy. Yeah, this one here could almost stab you. I mean, you could do some... Right, so you want to use wax paper or that famous parchment paper to line the bag with before you put this in, and then vacuum pack it, so that'll prevent the sharp edges from stabbing through. So we'll get to that. We're going to do this part first, so back in a while. Okay, so we've given this a few more hours to dry off a bit more, and I'm quite happy with that. It's still a little bit warm side, but that's okay. I'm not going to worry about that. So I got a nice clean surface that I'm working on. So I am going to just take this off and let it just, again, fall all through the center, crumbs and all, because I am going to scoop that up. You can see there's still a little bit of fresh grease on the mat, but not much. And a few little itty bitty teeny weeny crumbs. I don't like to waste anything. So give it a little bit of a twist, shimmy, shake and rattle and roll. There we go. Get that one out of the way. That's great. There's still a little bit that, you remember, I spilt towards the center of the rack, so I don't really want to send that flying too far. I'm just going to dump that off right here. That takes care of all the crumbs. That's wonderful. I'm quite happy with that. So we'll get that rack out of the way. You can see we're going to be doing some cleanup on that one. That's good. All right, so not much to this. I'm just going to scoop these, hear how crunchy that is, into this jar. And the last time when I moved these crumbs over to that mat, I did lose some through it, so I already threw them into the jar. If you happen to see some already in there, that's where it came from. All right, so here's the last of it. All nice and crispy crunchy. Yep, little tiny bits. Put a lid on that. And there you go. You've got yourself now a nice beautiful jar of Moo Bone bits. This will be great in a soup or any kind of a bean dish, maybe if you're rehydrating, you're camping. Throw that into some boiling water first, and then drain it, throw it into a pot full of beans, and you've got yourself an instant meal there. So that's all there is to that. I hope that little tidbit was healthy. Well, it is healthy. Helpful was the word I was going for. What my brain thinks and what my mouth says sometimes are two different things. What can I say? I know I'm not alone here. So, all right. So that's all there is to that. I'll let you be on that. I'm going to find myself a thing of desiccant to throw in there as well. And we're going to call that good. All right. Take care, everybody. Thanks for being here with Danny's Dehydration Station. Bye for now.